It was a typical Monday morning in the life of Garfield. Garfield, once again, was comfortably lounging in his bed, rubbing his eyes as he woke up to the first rays of sunshine. Jon, his owner, was in the kitchen preparing breakfast, and a delightful aroma wafted into Garfield's nose. However, this time, it was a bit different. Garfield, driven by the hunger pangs in his stomach, got up and headed towards the kitchen. The breakfast spread on Jon's table did not meet Garfield's expectations. There was a plate full of vegetables and a handful of granola. Squinting at the table, Garfield asked, "What's this, Jon?" Jon, smiling, explained that he had decided to eat a bit healthier. While Jon was explaining, Garfield grumbled and, without saying a word, decided to roam around the neighborhood. As Garfield strolled through the neighborhood, he spotted an enormous lasagna advertisement in a market's window. His eyes lit up, and a plan formed in his mind. He entered the market and purchased the biggest lasagna available. Holding the lasagna box close to his chest, he set off for home. When evening arrived, Garfield reached home and took the lasagna to the kitchen. As he opened the lasagna box, the exquisite aroma filled the room. Garfield grabbed a plate, cut a piece of lasagna, and started to enjoy it. However, the lasagna on the table suddenly slid and fell to the floor. For a moment, Garfield stood frozen, then he shouted, "No!" The cheese and sauce from the lasagna were now scattered around. Garfield looked at the fallen lasagna with sadness when Jon entered the room. Jon seemed to understand the situation, but with a remorseful expression, he approached. "Garfield, I'm sorry. Maybe I can do something about it," he said. After a moment of thought, Garfield smiled. "Okay, Jon, maybe we can make lasagna together," he said. Jon and Garfield sat together at the kitchen table, starting to make lasagna. While Jon kneaded the dough, Garfield helped organize the ingredients. The time they spent together erased the disappointment of the past. As the lasagna went into the oven, the house was filled with an amazing aroma. Jon and Garfield cracked jokes, shared old memories, and laughed together as they waited for the lasagna to cook. When the lasagna finally came out of the oven, it looked perfect. Jon and Garfield sat down to eat together. Garfield's eyes sparkled, and this time, Jon truly felt that he had found a way to make him happy. Jon suggested, "Maybe we should make every Monday lasagna day." Garfield, with a smile full of lasagna, replied, "Good idea, Jon." And so, Jon and Garfield grew closer to each other, turning lasagna day into a tradition. Mondays now held a special meaning for Garfield.